Hey guys, welcome to The Witch's Voice. I'm your Wednesday host, Maria Soul, and today we're talking about gods of defense. Basically gods and goddesses that are good for defense, protection, and alike. Now, all gods can be protective and defensive gods in my book, especially if you are a particular worshiper of that god. Then I don't see why they wouldn't want to protect you if you're a worshiper, especially if you have a close-knit relationship with them, that, you know, you work with them constantly and whatnot. I don't see why they wouldn't, but there are gods that have the protector and or guardian aspect very predominant in their particular style, I guess you could say. For instance, certain gods are the gods of knowledge. Some gods are goddesses and gods of love. Others prosperity. Others darkness and gloom and doom. War. There's different things that they have that they specialize in. Just like you and I would specialize in something. Like I'm really good at tarot card readings, and that's my thing. So, everybody has their thing that they're good at. It's a talent. So when it comes to protective and defensive gods that like to defend and all that stuff, that they're good for that purpose. Since I work with the Norse mythology, the Norse pantheon mainly, not always, but mainly I work with the Norse pantheon. When it comes to defense and all that jazz, I would say Thor. Only because Thor is a very, he's definitely a guy you want on your side to protect you. He has, and yeah, I know, like the movies and all that jazz, and that's probably why you're picking him. And no, that is not why I'm picking him. Only because of the fact that, one, he's very much the common guy. He likes humanity. He doesn't feel, well, as far as I've ever read and known, he's very much the common guy. He likes the common guy. He's not all about power and all that stuff. He's just like average Joe that wants to go out drinking after a long day's work. You know what I mean? That's his style. So when it comes to protecting people and humans, he has this very protective style, because it's like he sees you more as a friend, as like, a cool person to hang out with. That's how he sees humanity in general, especially in the mythology, as far as I've read. So he's definitely a cool god to go to for protection against other people that are harming or may harm you, especially if it's physical harm. He can really take care of that because he's a very physical god. He's not about magic and the ethereal realm. He's more about the physical realm. So he's very much about, he's also a builder, because he can, he's also the god of, he is a god of war, but mainly because his hammer is very powerful, but his hammer is, just as much as it's an object for war and fighting, it could also mean, a hammer to build and to create, to build homes and houses and communities. So he has a lot of aspect to him that most people don't realize. So he has that very much, like I defend, my friends, my family. So definitely a god to look for, if need be, for physical defense. And if what you're looking for is more of a spiritual or magical defense, maybe the person or people that are hurting you or trying to hurt you or may hurt you, are using magical means or spiritual means, not physical means, meaning that they send you negative energy of some sort, like entities and whatnot. A good rule of thumb is to work with a goddess or a god that is magical in themselves. Like they are magical as well, like they do magic and alike. So when it comes to the North pantheon, I would say more Freya, only because she is the queen of the Valkyries. So she is a warrior goddess. She is very much like, you know, she'll pick up a sword and, you know, she'll get down and dirty and fight with you. But at the same time, she's also magical. She is all about, you know, she does magic herself. She's considered a witch goddess, meaning that she does practice magic. She does do spells. So combining her aspect as a warrior that uses magic, you can mix them together and that's very defensive. So she's really good for defending against magical obstacles, okay, or magical attack. Another god that is kind of like an all-encompassing god is Odin. The only reason I say Odin is not because Odin is not necessarily a protective god or a defensive god. In my opinion, he's more of an intellect. He's more about politics and learning and the mind. So if it's more of a, you want to defend yourself verbally because you feel attacked mentally and it's more about your character that's being attacked, or you feel defensive of your character. So in other words, it's not, you know, they're not like whomever is maybe hurting you or maybe trying to hurt you is not doing it physically, and it is not doing it magically, but is doing it by just rumors or talking a lot of you know what, and trying to manipulate the situation and manipulate you just by how they speak to you and what they say to you, and that personality that they're trying to break down over you. Odin is actually a pretty good god for that, because of the fact that Odin is all about intelligence and how to outwit your opponent. So when it comes to defense on that aspect, Odin is actually very good. I recommend Odin in that sense, definitely. He's also very all-encompassing, but it's all about the mind. So it's all about strategy and trying to outwit the other person for Odin. So I do suggest Odin for those purposes. Other than that, I can't really think of any other god, even though any god is good, because if you worship that god and you have that close-knit relationship with them, obviously they will try to protect you. But if but when it comes down to it, if it's something more of a that you don't think that they're not specifically, you know, known for it, it's best to go with something that you feel comfortable, that you do have a good relationship with. So that's why I sort of stick to the particular, even though my main patron gods are Freya and Freyr, if I need, I know that I can go to the other pantheon, the other gods in the pantheon, for that extra help in that general area. And it works really well. I personally don't like mixing pantheons, but there's some people that do, and I have in the past, and nothing bad has happened, because it's all aspects of the same god. But I just stick to the Norse because I just like the Norse gods. Other than that, that's pretty much what I have to say about defensive gods, or gods that you can use for defensive purposes. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to let you guys know. Obviously, if you're working with Thor, I do suggest that you would use something, that if you do use Thor and you are, and you're doing it in a ritualistic sense, you're not giving like an offering and asking him for help. You're just calling upon him while you're doing a ritual, and it's a defensive ritual, like a protection ritual, or it's a banishing ritual to defend yourself, or to keep away bad things that may be already on you, or coming towards you, or what have you. I do suggest that because it's Thor and he is a war god, to not be gentle when you're doing the ritual. Be forceful, be very direct. Yell and scream if you have to, especially when it comes to when it comes to really getting into the like the defensive part, like saying like, Thor's behind me and he's gonna help me out and blah blah blah. So I want you to go home and leave these evil things that this person is doing towards me. I don't want them here. No, you don't say it like that. You say like, I want blah and blah and blah to leave me the fuck alone. And, like scream it and yell it and own it. Because that's how Thor's energy is. It's very like hard hitting. So you need to bring that force out. If it's with Freya, it's a little bit less, but still the same. It's more direct and firm. You're like firm on what you want. You're not, oh, maybe kind of, I think that's who's doing this. No, you are firm in what you want. You don't scream and yell. You don't have to, but you are firm in what you want to achieve. And you're very confident about what it is that you want to achieve in the defensive area. And when it comes to Odin, it's more tactical. It's more you use more your intellect than anything else. It's not about, yeah, I'm gonna be like a badass and just when you're doing a ritual, it's more about using your intellect. So instead of just reciting something or what have you, write something down of what you want and be very meticulous of what you want. And try to be strategic on when you're writing it, the ritual, and put a lot of emphasis in the outcome, which you should do for almost any ritual that you're doing. But when it comes to Odin, because he's all about intellect, so be more intellectual. That's the best way I can put it. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say. And I hope that this was helpful. And I hope you enjoy all the videos because they're actually coming out pretty good. So yeah, other than that, guys, I'll see you guys around. Much love and blessings.